It's 9 a.m. on a Monday. You're already behind. Emails are stacking up, your calendar is sliced into 30-minute blocks, and somewhere under all of it is a quiet voice asking, is this really how a day is supposed to feel? For most of human history, a day looked nothing like this. So let's actually walk through it. Not the myth. Not the cartoon of cavemen grunting around a fire. A real day in the life of an ancient human, and what it quietly tells us about the way we live now. Picture someone waking up. No alarm. No screen lighting up an inch from their face. Just gray light leaking over the horizon and the sound of other people stirring nearby. They didn't wake up alone. They woke up surrounded. That's the first surprise. For much of our past, humans lived in small groups, often a few dozen people who knew everything about each other. You woke up already inside your community. Before you did anything, you belonged somewhere. The morning wasn't a rush. In many foraging societies studied by anthropologists, people didn't sprint into the day. They talked. They ate something simple. They got ready slowly, depending on the weather and the season and what the group needed. Then came the work. But here's where it gets interesting. The work was finding food. Walking, tracking, gathering plants, checking traps, digging roots, watching the land. It was physical, and it could be hard. Some days the search came up empty. But studies of several hunter-gatherer groups suggest that the actual hunting and gathering often took only a handful of hours a day, not because life was easy, but because once you had enough, you stopped. There was no concept of staying busy to look productive. No reason to keep working after the food was secured. So what filled the rest? Each other. People rested in the shade. They repaired tools. They told stories, long ones, the same ones, over and over. They shaped knives, mended nets, taught children by simply letting them watch. The day had pauses built into it. And the work itself was woven through with company. You gathered beside someone. You walked and talked at the same time. There was no clean line between working and living. It was all just the day. Now compare that to a modern morning. You wake up alone, often to a sound designed to jolt you. You move through tasks that have nothing to do with your survival and everything to do with a screen. You sit. 4 hours. You're surrounded by people on a train or in an office, yet you might not say a real word to any of them. Our days became more efficient and, in a strange way, more empty. But let's be honest about the trade. Ancient life carried real weight. A bad season could mean hunger. An injury with no medicine could end a life. Danger was close, and loss was common. The slowness we romanticize sat right next to genuine uncertainty. Modern life answered a lot of that. We have food on shelves, doctors when we're sick, roofs that hold against the storm, and knowledge passed across the whole planet in seconds. Those are not small things. They're miracles our ancestors would have wept for. So the point isn't that the old way was better. It's that we swapped one shape of a day for another, and didn't always notice what we left behind. Here's the part most people miss. It wasn't just free time we lost. It was the rhythm. The natural rise and fall of effort and rest. The ancient day breathed. It had built-in stopping points, faces around the fire, work that ended when the need ended. Our day doesn't breathe the same way. It's a flat line of constant low pressure, never quite working hard, never quite resting. Always reachable. Always a little behind. And that mismatch might explain a feeling a lot of people carry without a name for it. The exhaustion that comes even on days you didn't do much. The loneliness in a crowded city. The sense that you're running, but the finish line keeps moving. None of this means you should abandon modern life. You can't, and you probably wouldn't want to. But maybe you can borrow something from that older day. A real pause. A meal with people, no screens. Work that has an ending. A morning that starts a little slower than the world wants it to. Because when you ask what ancient humans did all day, the answer isn't really about them. It's a quiet mirror. And looking into it, you might notice that the things they had the most of, time with people, rest without guilt, a day that knew when to stop, are the exact things we now have to fight to get back. If that's a thought worth sitting with, you might feel at home here. Stay a while.